Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Rise or Fall. And boy, oh boy, what a week 5 this was. And it all comes to an end this evening. The Indianapolis Colts head to the Baltimore Ravens in what should be some sort of wild tilt. Hang here and let's dig into some stacks. Hey, and we're back. Once again, thanks for being here. I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Rise or Fall to talk about Monday Night Football. People really like these single game slates, these Captain Showdown modes, or the MVP spot on FanDuel, and I'm happy to oblige, bring it here, and talk through all the wackiness that's going on in my head. In the last few weeks, we found some success. More importantly, last night with the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, I said a few things I didn't think were going to be popular. And to be fair, the game kind of went exactly how most of us thought it would. If you're a Buffalo Bills fan, if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, it didn't go as planned. But that's okay. That's the beauty behind not only football but DFS. It's a daily fantasy sport. So Sunday and Sunday Night Football, that's all over. That's all done. We're looking ahead to Monday night, which is right now. Can you believe how fast the season is going by already? We're on the cusp of season 6, just like that. Poof, and it's season 6. If you stop and blink, it'll be season 10, or excuse me, it'll be week 10, week 11, week 12. I mean, it's getting out of control. So let's stop. Let's calm down. Let's breathe really quick, and let's talk about Monday Night Football. But you know the deal. Make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall, like, share, subscribe. And while you're there, sign up for the premium services. We're going on our fifth or sixth week of just the season, obviously, and lots of folks are joining. They love it. The Discord is free. You can join the Discord and you can chat with me and Mitch or anybody else in with the group here at Team Rise or Fall. And it's unbelievable. So we have hockey coming up. That's really on my radar. I love hockey DFS. In baseball, the playoffs, that's trailing off. But then basketball is back. They're already playing preseason games. So hop on board. Join us at Team Rise or Fall. I promise you, you will not regret it. So let's get right into Monday Night Football game. See, I'm stuttering. I'm like, because this game is going to be fantastic. I say that for every video, but I when I say it, I really do mean it. So last time I said the game was going to be fantastic, I meant it. And when you fast forward to right now and tonight, Monday night, I'm telling you, I really mean that. This Indianapolis Colts game at Baltimore is going to be fantastic. Go over a couple things really quick. The Indianapolis Colts are getting 7 here. I believe it's dipped down to about 6.5 points that Indianapolis is getting. And the over-under is right at about 47. And it shifted a little bit during the week and it righted itself again. I believe at this moment in time, it's at 47 total points over-under here. So when we get into the game, let's talk about Carson Wentz, the opposing quarterbacks. Wentz is $14,000 on FanDuel, only $10,200 on DraftKings. And when you look at a guy like Carson Wentz, I hate, this isn't me. I mean, it is me talking, but it's not me saying this next statement. The guy seemingly is made from glass. He's always getting these weird nagging injuries. And I know an injury is an injury. It's either you're injured. Are you injured or are you hurt? Hurt, you can't play. Injured, you can kind of tape up your ankle or get some cortisone in your ribs and then you can play. When it comes to Carson Wentz, it's always just being hurt, just nagging ankle things or knee tweaks, things along those lines. And look, Carson Wentz tonight, is he in play? Absolutely. It's a single game slate. We only have 2 quarterbacks that we can use. Is Carson Wentz on my short list of players to use tonight? No. Absolutely not. And that's just it. I'll leave it right at that spot right there. At this stage of Carson Wentz's career, who knows how the game is going to pan out? But, well, of course, nobody knows how the game's going to pan out. But what I'm getting at is who's to say the first possession of the game or the first quarter of the game, he's not going to get tackled wrong or, shook and jive wrong and plant his knee, and then bam, we get a goose egg or we finish with 2.3 points from Carson Wentz because he couldn't finish the game here. So to me, it'd be a disservice for me not to mention Carson Wentz in a single game video, but in all honesty, I'm not using him this evening. Now, when we get to Lamar Jackson, Absolutely. Lamar hosting the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are 20th overall against opposing quarterbacks. In my notes, it's all green. 20 circled and written in green pen here. On FanDuel, Lamar Jackson, $17,000. On DraftKings, $12,600. I mean, what are we going to do here? All, wheels up, all go ahead, whatever that saying is with Lamar Jackson. At this moment, I would imagine Lamar Jackson is going to be highly owned, highly sought after, and highly rostered in MVP spots, in captain spots, and I'm not going to argue that. I know I get on some of these videos and I say, you know what, the move is to fade this person. I said it yesterday. We want to fade Patrick Mahomes, and it wasn't. There's no ill will towards Patrick Mahomes. I just saw an opening, an edge to be gained here, and look, there's no way around Lamar Jackson tonight. MVP spot, captain spot, or if you want, what's weird, what's contrarian this evening is putting Lamar Jackson in a flex spot, not in a MVP captain spot. Will it pay off? I don't know, but I'm just trying to think outside the box. And when you have Lamar Jackson in a single game, there is that you have to stay in the box with Lamar Jackson. The guy is an absolute stone cold stud. Let's go to the running backs. We'll pick up the pace here. Don't want to be here for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Not yet. We'll wait till later in the season and we'll get some of these going for 45 minutes or an hour. But until then, it's Monday night. Let's talk about Jonathan Taylor at Baltimore. Baltimore's 21st overall against opposing running backs. JT, $13,000 on FanDuel, $9,800 on DraftKings. I would imagine that the Colts, give Baltimore a steady dose of Jonathan Taylor. No issue here. Is he in play for an MVP captain spot? Absolutely. Great analysis by me, right? Play JT. Here's his price. Green matchup. There you go. You're welcome. Nyheim Hines, he catches passes. He runs a lot of routes out of the backfield. Hines, $8,000 on FanDuel, only $5,600 on DraftKings. I think I'm going to make it a point to put Nyheim Hines in my rosters this evening just because he complements Jonathan Taylor very well. Jonathan Taylor's like the hammer, gets in there, while Hines swings out, runs some wheel routes. I would imagine at least one, I wouldn't say two. I think I'm comfortable only saying one screen pass for Nyheim Hines tonight. And let's say Hines takes it for a first down. It's a 1st and 15 second or third down and 15 or 20. They give it to Hines, and Hines will pick up a second or third and long here this evening. So Hines, $8,000 on FanDuel, $5,600 on DraftKings. And one player who's not popping up in any optimizers, I had to dig in with my phone on both FanDuel and DraftKings. Yes, Michael Myers. There he is. Like it. Sweet. Marlon Mack, $6,500 on FanDuel, and on DraftKings, I'd have to look at the price. I'll get back to you there. But Marlon Mack, to me, is another guy. They're working him in more times than not, and everybody left him for dead. They left him on the scrap heap because he had that nasty knee injury. He had a whole year to recuperate and do all that. And in the meantime, the Colts drafted Jonathan Taylor, changing of the guard, all those fantasy buzzwords. I'll leave it alone. Marlon Mack, $6,500 on FanDuel, and then on the graphic here, boom. That's how much he is on DraftKings. On the Baltimore side of the ball, Latavius Murray, Tyson Williams, Devontae Freeman. Let's go to Latavius Murray real quick. The Colts are tough against the run. They're 8th overall against the run here. Latavius Murray, $10,000 on FanDuel, only $7,400 on DraftKings. Last week, we saw Tyson Williams was inactive, a healthy scratch, and he is $10,000 on FanDuel. Can you, in the history of me playing DFS, I've never had like such a fade in my mind. I mean, Tyson Williams on FanDuel is a massive fade. You're telling me that Tyson Williams is more than Nyheim Hines. He's more than, Sammy Watkins. He's more than all the, aside from Pittman Jr., Tyson is more expensive than, I would say, 75% of the field this evening. So fade Tyson Williams on DraftKings. He's only $1,200. If you're max entering big GPPs this evening, get Tyson Williams in there, but make sure you check back about 30, 45 minutes before kickoff when the inactives come out. Devonta Freeman, $5,500 on FanDuel. That's as far as I'm going to go. DraftKings not even in play. This guy will get 2-3 carries, will rack up 10, 12 yards, unnecessary to use Devonta Freeman this evening. Go to the wide receivers. Pittman Jr., Baltimore 7th overall against opposing wide receivers. Pittman Jr., $11,000 on FanDuel, $9,000 on DraftKings. He is checking all the boxes for me this evening. Tall dude, runs great routes, and he looks to be there's a little bit of favoritism between him and Carson Wentz. So if Carson Wentz can stay on the field, Pittman Jr. is very much in play. Regardless, if he's off or on the field, Carson Wentz, I'm getting steady ownership, steady doses of Pittman Jr. Zach Pascal, $9,500 on FanDuel, only $8,200 on DraftKings, and then Paris Campbell, $6,500 on FanDuel, only $3,800 on DraftKings. Pascal, that's the play, Zach Pascal. We saw him start really hot to the season. I believe he scored 3 times in the first 2 games, kind of tapered off, nothing crazy, but I think that alone will suppress ownership. People say, you use a guy when he's hot, when you're on a roll, when you're on a hot streak, that's when you go all in on a player, and we both know, you and me and you watching this video, that DFS and fantasy sports it's very fickle. It's insanely fickle, so a lot of folks are probably off Zach Pascal. Let's keep the train rolling with him. On the Baltimore side of things, Hollywood Brown really coming into his own, thankfully. Last weekend was unbelievable. That 50, 60-yard pass, he dove in the end zone. That photo was shared all over social media, rightfully so. Heck of a play by the kid and heck of a bounce back after the previous week, dropping several passes, 2 of which could have been touchdowns. But again, I digress. We're talking about Monday Night Football on October 11th here. Hollywood Brown against the Colts. The Colts are 22nd overall against opposing wide receivers. Hollywood, $13,500 on FanDuel, $11,000 on DraftKings. Again, a lock in most of my lineups this evening. So let's go down to Sammy Watkins. Not much to say here. $7,500 on FanDuel, $5,800 on DraftKings. He's just at this point, Baltimore brought him in to kind of, maybe work with the receivers, maybe a veteran presence, and maybe he can kind of get back to what we thought he could be. He was drafted by Buffalo, went to Kansas City, and he's a professional wide receiver. That's as much as I'll say. Watkins, as I said, $7,500 on FanDuel, only $5,800 on DraftKings. Devin Duvernay, $6,000 on FanDuel, $4,800 on DraftKings. If you look at Duvernay, he makes for a nice kind of salary relief play if that's what you're looking to do. You grab Lamar Jackson, maybe you want to put Carson Wentz in the same lineup, JT, Hollywood Brown, and then you can put Duvernay in there, and it'll open things up a little bit in your lineups. And then James Proche, not much to say other than his price, $6,000 on FanDuel, $1,000 on DraftKings. When we go down to the tight ends, the Indianapolis Colts tight ends is where I want to stop for a moment. They're 32nd overall. Baltimore, it was, as I was saying, Baltimore's dead last in defending opposing tight ends. So that means Jack Doyle, $7,000 on FanDuel, only $2,600 on DraftKings, is very much in play. Even Mo Alley Cox, $7,000 on FanDuel, but he's a little bit more expensive on DraftKings, so $5,000 on DraftKings. Of these two, why not? Why not play both of them, right? I mean, if you've watched my videos, hopefully you have. If not, thanks for being here this time around. Or any of my bottom of the barrel DFS stuff, excuse me. When it comes to single game slates, I try to be as wild and outlandish as possible purposefully. People look at it and go, Chris, you're a dummy. Why would you? Well, I get it. I am a dummy in certain aspects, but when it comes to DFS, I am not a dummy. I'm trying to think outside the box because tonight the entire world is going to watch this game. The entire world is going to have DFS lines in there. So I always ask folks, I write it in my article, and I'm asking you now, what kind of DFS player are you? Are you just looking for a piece of the pie tonight, or are you looking to take down the whole damn thing? That's the difference. If you're looking for a piece of the pie, then you know the deal. You take all the chalk players. If you're looking to get over on folks and win life-changing money, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, then why not take a risk for $1 or $2 and put in Jack Doyle and Mo Alley Cox in your lineup? That's all I was getting at. On the other side of the field, Mark Andrews, the Colts are 14th overall against opposing tight ends. Mark Andrews, 12 grand on FanDuel. On DraftKings, he's $6,600. Josh Oliver, Nick Boyle, I believe Boyle is out. So the other tight ends, really, I hate to say meaningless because I care for everybody. I want to see people do well, but Mark Andrews is the only game in town in Baltimore at the tight end spot. Moving down to the kickers, Rodrigo Blankenship. Baltimore, if this matters, I'll just say it anyways. Baltimore's 4th overall in giving up points to the opposing kicker. I don't know how they come about that stat. I would imagine if you miss a kick, it's more on you, but maybe they give some sort of subtleties to the defense here. Rodrigo, $8,500 on FanDuel, $3,600 on DraftKings, and then Justin Tucker. What the heck are we going to do? One of, if not the greatest kicker of all time. Am I right? And that's coming from a Lions fan. Real recognizes real. And this man has it. He has it all in that golden leg of his. Tucker, $9 grand on FanDuel, $4,000 on DraftKings. Tucker is I rarely mention playing kickers in single slates, and it's not because I don't think they can accumulate points, but it's because there's so many other juicy pieces in a lineup here. But Justin Tucker, absolutely in play this afternoon or this evening. You want to be wild? I know this is crazy. Don't unfollow, don't unlike the video, but who's to say we can't put Tucker in an MVP or captain spot just in case? It's only $1 or $2. A lot of folks they don't want to get their lines outside the box. People are, from what I've noticed, people are scared and nervous to lose $1 or $2. That's the whole point here. My biggest failures in DFS have turned into some of the biggest successes of all time in my DFS playing career. So throw Tucker in a captain spot, MVP spot this evening and see what happens. It's only $1 or $2. In the defenses, I'm probably going to fade both of them, but I could make a point for Baltimore here. Indy at Baltimore. Indianapolis Colts DST, $3,200. The Baltimore DST is $4,400. Of the two, I could see a case with Baltimore here. They have some good young linebackers like Patrick Queen, who can get around the ball. Maybe Carson Wentz makes a mistake or two, an interception, a fumble recovered by Baltimore here. So I thank you for being here. Once this video is over and it's out and it's published, look later this evening. I will try and share some of my sample lines for both FanDuel and DraftKings. Not the whole line. I believe that's against rules, but I'll put it in there and you can mix and match the rest. So until next time, make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall, like, share, subscribe, and find me in the Discord. Find me on Twitter at Detroit Beastie. My DMs are always open. And really fast, it is Mental Health Awareness Day. So if any of you personally or anybody is struggling, they need help, substance abuse, mental health, please reach out to someone that can help. As I said, my DMs are always open. I'm always willing to lend an ear and to listen. Sometimes just getting something out and letting it out into the world is enough to kind of get over the hump. So I just want to say you're not alone. You have a lot of folks in your life, and if it matters, I'm one of them. You can always message me. I'll give you my phone number. We can text, call, email, whatever you want to do. I wish you the best. Let's enjoy Monday Night Football, and I'll see you the same time for Thursday Night Football. How about it? I'll see you later.